3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Things have warmed up a bit over the weekend. Everything melted. Now it's back in the 20s, which is where it probably belongs. Anyway, a lot to cover today. Probably won't get to it all, but we'll give you a shot. The first thing I wanted to touch on, of course, we all watched the Super Bowl. And what I wanted to, first of all, I wanted to mention that the Super Bowl ratings are down. Super Bowl ratings drop. There's a couple of tips right off the bat. Good tips, okay? If you go to Ad Age, you can get a lot of news, but they don't let you access it. They only let you have 5 hits without, like the Wall Street Journal, without subscribing. Well, I'm not going to subscribe to Ad Age. I think it's mostly baloney. But if you go over to Ad Age India, you get the same stories. So go to Ad Age India, and that's where I go for my news. Plus, they're a day ahead anyway, almost a whole day. You know, I just think it's such a big advantage being in Asia because you start your day a whole day ahead of the West. And people lose track of this. All their holidays and vacations start a day early, too. You just get more life in Asia. Anyway. And it's fun. I got flown to Singapore. I spoke in Singapore, and they flew me over there. It was just, I just loved Singapore. Anyway, they say that's Asia for dummies. No offense to Singapore. I loved Singapore. Okay, anyway. So, another point, another tip, which I think is really cool. If you're in the advertising business, you can get an audio version of this briefing. Apparently, they do sort of a audio news on Alexa. Now, I don't trust Alexa to be in my home. I say enough bad things in public. So, but there you go. Now, this Sunday's Super Bowl was the least watched in 11 years and actually the lowest rating in 16 years. So it was a real stinker bomb. Well, you know, it was 0-0 most of the first half, and it was 0-3. It was 3-0 at halftime. That's a real barn burner. And it wasn't even, you know, there weren't even great defensive plays, really. There was one interception in the first half, and that one was kind of a blinker. You know, you got blink up in the air, and boom. It wasn't much of a play. Anyway, you know, the ball comes down, and somebody, you know, cradles it, but it wasn't like a takeaway. Anyway, according to Anthony Krupe, the game was tedious and harrowing, and the final ratings reflected America's relative discomfort. Now, I've also come up with a theory, and that is that the Super Bowl party has become more of an event than the Super Bowl. So we had steaks on the grill. Yeah, I know it's hard to grill at 20 below. I do it. I'm a master at 20 below grilling. In fact, I've got some video in the can that is ready to get posted on my private channel, which you may not be able to find, I hope. But we completely missed the first quarter. We didn't care. We were having wine and steak, and who needs a Super Bowl? You know, we don't care about the teams. My friend wanted the Rams. I wanted the Patriots. Luckily, of course, I called it right, which is usually the case. But anyway, lowest rated in 16 years. And it's hard to get a good handle on the number of viewers compared to previous years. I wanted to make that point also. So I Googled, or, you know, I think that's a verb. I Googled how do they judge the best Super Bowl ads? Because I've been doing some best Super Bowl ads thing. And, you know, here's what makes a good Super Bowl ad. It was ad week, and it was like, gets attention. Here's one. When you're deciding whether the ad you saw was just good or bad. Yahoo News, actually, Yahoo Finance had they had a guy on that had 80 metrics that he judged the Super Bowl ads by, but it had nothing to do with whether anybody watched it. It had to do with whether it actually makes a sale. And so I thought, you know, that's really what's relevant. One is, does it make an offer at all? Another is, does it mention a product? You know, there was that Telluride, that ad for, I don't know, Kia Telluride, I think. My wife says, is that a place? I said, yeah, it's in Colorado. Then why are they talking about Georgia? I don't know. Boring ad. Oh my gosh, it was terrible, I thought. And it doesn't even really mention the product. I mean, the M&M's ad had a car in it just as much as the Kia ad had a car in it. You didn't know what it was, neither of them. They had to read the name on the back. Ugh, for Kia. Anyway, but you know, there's this like these are the best 5 commercials of the 2018. I watch a lot of TV ads on purpose. That makes me qualified to judge the best ads. And it's like, what? Okay, so you're going to get from me my take on the best ads. We better get rolling here. And this one was I thought this was the best ad, period. End of story. Okay, here we go.
It's simple mathematics. Each one of these for just one of these. You're dead.
At Pizza Hut, we're a $5 lineup of your favorites for just a Lincoln each.
Yeah.
Perfect. Except I would have had some kind of link or QR code, but it's only a 15-second ad, so how in the world can you do that? I like that. You're dead. That's because that was supposed to be Lincoln. I don't think he looked quite gaunt enough for Lincoln, but anyway, he looked sort of too happy. This is another one of my top. There, I had top 4.
I'm a close talker, so I was excited about all new Colgate Total. Its breakthrough formula does more.
Wonderful.
Sensitivity strengthens teeth. It kills germs through my whole mouth.
I like your confidence.
Thanks, Mr. Lee. Now there's no such thing as too close.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Okay.
All new Colgate Total. Do more for your whole mouth.
Okay, oops. So that one, it has a product feature. Mentions the product in the beginning and in the end. Turn the sound off, you still get what's going on. He's talking too close. And Colgate helps talking too close if you like to do that. Product, feature, product. Great ad. Not great, but it was an okay ad. There weren't any great ads, I didn't think, this year.
Google.
More than 100 billion words are translated every day.
Lift your hand.
Thank you very much for your help.
ご助力ありがとうございます。
Words about food. Words about friendship. About sport. About belief. About fear. Words that can
I like
hurt,
that there was subtitles, but
and sometimes divide. But every day, the most translated words in the world are "How are you?" "Thank you." And "I love you." Okay, why? Makes the point of the product. Google Translate, featured prominently. They have the data. They are sharing you the data. And it, you know, lets you know. I didn't know you could scan scan signs and it would translate it right on the screen. That is uber cool. I had never seen that.
Ow!
All right, guys, come on.
Get your foot out! Cut it out!
Get your foot off of him.
Quit it! Hey, watch it!
Hey.
Stop!
Ow!
Cut it out!
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, quit it!
Okay, do I have to break you guys apart?
He started it! Stop it!
You
All right.
stop.
Stop it!
Guys, come on.
Stop touching me!
Okay, that's it. If you don't stop, I will eat all of you alive right now.
I prefer the break us apart option.
Introducing the M&M's chocolate bar.
Okay, now that one was great, except that you know, it had suspense in it. It probably got more attention than the other ones. The Google certainly. I think they could have had a much more forceful, like the host on Slumdog Millionaire. I mean, if you want to have an Indian host, which it seemed like they did, there's a lot more forceful guys. This was kind of whispery and it was all lovey-dovey, but it made some points about the product. But here, this would be a great one where, you know, some kind of Twitter, you know, hashtag or something, some way to get some sample M&Ms. You know, go to our Facebook page or go to somewhere. I mean, it's not that impossible to do.
Okay, so in my title today, I said, why is direct marketing more powerful than the best Super Bowl ad? Here's the payoff. Because none of these were split tests. None of these were, this is a one-time shot. I found out just today that when Apple ran that 1984, which I had featured last week, that was their entire year's marketing budget. They blew it in one Super Bowl ad, and it, rocketed the company into actual existence. Up until that, they were kind of a garage operation. Anyway, so, but in those days, the Super Bowl was actually more a cultural event. But backing up, that's what it is. It's a crapshoot. When they talk about the Super Bowl ads, they have no metric for which is best. The ones that I saw were best was the Bud ad, but that's going to get a huge backlash. Adidas put up an all-white tennis shoe for Black History Month, and people quickly picked up on the irony of that. Here's my rating system. Just show you. I went and watched. I don't know if you can see that. It looks a little overexposed. I went and watched all 53 ads, rated each one of them. But whoever's opinion you take on who wasted their money, the nice part is the Pizza Hut ad was only a quarter minute. So at 5.5 million, they only spent like 1.2 million. Nice, nice. They got a deal. But again, no link, no nothing. Could have added a couple more seconds and had an offer. Call now, and we'll give you, 2 for $5 or something. Gather the names, gather the followers. Anyway, point. In direct marketing, we split test. In direct marketing, we isolate causal factors. None of that here. And digital, they can measure all they want, but if they don't set it up right, they don't know what's going on. These people do not know what's going on. There's a big asterisk on how many people watched it. There's a big asterisk on how many people will take action because of it. Even if they go to even if they saw it and go to Pizza Hut, doesn't mean that that was the causal force. And this is why direct marketing is the most powerful advertising tool that no one's using. And if you don't know much about direct marketing, get in touch with me. See how it applies to your business. It can be applied to every business because it's a scientific method applied to business and advertising. Check out Claude Hopkins, scientificadvertising.com, free book. I don't get anything out of it. It's written 100 years ago. It's more relevant today than ever. And if you say, well, digital can answer that, not if it's not set up right. And most of it isn't. I'm John Miglosh. Like and share. We're on every day at 10 a.m. And yesterday I was at a reception and someone actually said, I watch those things you do. That's the first time it's ever happened to me. So, somebody's watching. Heaven help us. And get the word out, because people don't know. People don't know that there's a marketing news show, and I think it's worth watching. Have a great day.